Good morning, students. We're going to be working on page 216 today. And we're getting further and further to the end of this module. And we're going to be on lesson 32 today, focusing on division word problems. But our divisor, though, is going to be growing. So our divisor is going to be between, so there's our dividend. Now our divisors are going to be either 6, 7, 8, or 9 today. And we're going to be using tape diagrams in these word problems to be solving. So we're going to be using tape diagrams to represent our groups and our dividend. Okay, so let's begin right away. And we got two problems. We're going to be working through each problem, focusing on those tape diagrams and focusing on those divisors. So let's zoom in on our first problem. And let's go through the information bit by bit. We're making tape diagrams, we're drawing, reading, and writing. So there were 904 children signed up for the relay race. So I definitely know that is my total, right? That's going to be probably my dividend, 904 children. If there were 6 children on each team, right? So on each team there were 6 children, right? This represents one team, and there is 6 of them on that team. How many teams were made? So this is a question of we need to find the groups, right? That is one team, it equals 6, so 6 people are on a team. So we have to find the amount of groups here. The amount of groups that we have. To do that, we are going to have to divide. So, but just to let you know, we might get remainders. And I'll show you what it looks like when we have a remainder in division. So let's divide. All right. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do it on this side, so I just have a bit more space to work with. So I definitely know we need groups of 6, right? 3, 4, 5, and 6 to make a group. I got 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm definitely going to have one group, and I'm going to have 3 left over. So we should have 3 dots left over. So let's erase. We're going to subtract 6, and we should have 3 left over. Awesome. That's perfect. So let's put down 0, and we are going to have, we're definitely going to have 5 here, right? So 6 can go into 30 5 times, but let's just check using our skip counting. So 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. Awesome. So it is 5 times. So we're going to have 30. We have 0. We're going to bring down the 4. And unfortunately, 6 can't go into 4. So you would think that would be our remainder of 4. But however, we got to put a placeholder only because if I did 15 times 6 and multiplied 6 times 1, it'd be 90. However, if I added my placeholder, and this was 150 times 6, it's going to work out. So 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 5 is 30, and then 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9, plus that remainder of 4. So, I just checked my work, and so we need that placeholder, especially when we get into the hundreds, where that placeholder allows us to represent our multiplication and make sure that our quotient is accurate. So, the remaining children served as referees. How many children served as referees? It was 4 children served as these referees, right? And in the middle here, the quotient was 150 teams, right? So, there were 4 referees. There were 4 referees. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, I hope that this was a simple one. Remember, we just need to use that placeholder at the very end. And let's go into 5 and continue using our tape diagram and using division in order to solve. So let's get into 5 now. Remember, pause the video at any time if you need to slow down or if you need to go over any of the material one more time. So let's go into 5. 1,108 kilograms of rice are divided into 7 sacks. All right, well, that makes it pretty simple for us. We know that 1,188 kilograms is being divided into 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7 sacks. Okay. Now, how many kilograms of rice are in 6 sacks of rice? So this is where it gets tricky. So they want another tape diagram, right? They want another tape diagram, and instead of 7, they want 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. And here they want the total. Now, we don't know each group, right? We don't know how much is in each group yet. We don't know how much is in each group yet. However, we do have this information here. So let's solve for these 7. Okay. And once we know how much goes in each group, we can then solve this portion here. So let's go back and see if we can solve for this word problem. So we have 1,188, and we have 7 sacks, right? Cool, 7 sacks. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So we know that 7, I need 7 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7 to make a group. This does not do that, so I have to put a placeholder. Now, 11 does, and 11 is 11 dots, and so I am going to subtract 1 group of 7, right? If we did 2 groups, that would be 14, and that's over 11. I mean, I can do skip counting on the bottom just to start us off. I mean, it's going to be 7, 14, so yeah, it goes over. So we'll have 0, and then 11, and 11 subtract 4, or 7 is 4. Cool. And we're going to bring down that 8. And then how many times can 7 go into 48? Well, let's use our skip counting drill. And you might have to count very slowly in order to do this if you don't know your 7s. But I do, so I'm going to go quickly. But you might need to count your 7s in order to do it right. So 21, 28, 35, 42, and 49. Okay, so 49 goes over. So sticking with 42. How many groups is that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 groups. So I'm going to subtract 42. I'll get 6. Bring down the 8. And here we are going to see how many times can, and I want you to notice too that I bring down the 8 because I have 6 dots here. I can't subtract it with 7, so that's why we bring down the 8. So you got to be very careful when we are bringing down the next digit. So let's check to see if 7 can go into 68. So 49, 56, 64, no, 63, and 70. So 70 goes too far, 63 is exactly what we need. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and we're going to be subtracting 63, and we'll get a remainder of 5. All right, so we have our amount here, 169 with a remainder of 5. And let's check our answer just so that we're absolutely sure we're correct. 169 times 7. Well, 7 times 9 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 63. And then 7 times 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is 42, plus 6 is 48. And then 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 5. All right, cool. We are good there. So our next problem, so that means that 169 with a remainder of 5 goes in each one. Okay. Now, our next problem, though, is they want to know when we have 6 sacks, how much is that going to equal in total? Now, if you're like me, you're like, whoa, well, what do we do with this remainder? I mean, are we going to have to count that remainder too? I mean, I know I need to put 169 in each one, but what about that? What about that remainder? Well, let's read the instructions one more time because I was a little confused too, and I was like, whoa, this is not right. And here is how many kilograms of rice remain. So that is the pickle here. Is what remains. So let's find the total. We're going to leave out the remainder, right? Because we can leave it out. They say how much rice has remained, so we can leave that out. And so instead, we're just going to have 169 in each. And we can multiply 169 times 6 to solve. And we'll get our total. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. So I want you to tell me how much is our total, and then how much is remaining. So I'm going to write down that that word problem is the total of 6 sacks of rice is, and you put your answer, what remains is of rice. Okay, this was a problem for sure. This is a lot of work. Oh my gosh. All right, so give me the total. Give me your word problem and tell me how much rice remains. Okay, how many kilograms of rice?